All right, we're back. All right, I'm going to introduce this idea of solving equations, and I know that sometimes it's specified how many steps it'll take and all of that, but the idea is always going to be the same. All right, so if I were to write a goal, the goal of solving equations is simply to isolate the variable. Isolate the variable. All right. We know variables are like the x's and the y's and all that kind of stuff, but that's the goal. Now, the process of actually getting to that goal is called solving an equation. Now, I'll tell you this. Since I said process, let me just write this. The process. In general, the process for solving an equation, the first thing you want to do is simplify anything you can simplify. So if you have multiple terms on one side, or if you have distribution where you have parentheses, let's distribute, combine like terms, do all the simplifying you can. You have not started solving yet because you're simplifying. Now, the next step in the process is to actually start solving. To start solving, you need to use inverse operations. So use inverse operations. Sorry, that was right. I made a mistake here. Use inverse operations. Let me just go ahead and add to isolate the variable. All right. The last thing I want to say is not really a process, but it's important here. That answer is called the solution. So the answer you get when you have isolated the variable, that answer is called the solution. That's an N. The answer is called the solution. All right. In general, let me make that a little smaller here. Move it over here. Sorry, pen's not working. What does that mean? This is a star. That means it makes the equation true. All right. My E's just don't look right. Make that a little bit bigger. I'm trying to get used to it too. There we go, much better. So whatever it is you're trying to do, if you're trying to solve an equation, you need to isolate the variable. That's the goal. The way you do that is by first doing anything you can do to simplify the expression on either side, right? You might have multiple expressions. Simplify as much as you can. When you're done simplifying, you need to start solving by using inverse operations. Inverse operations, another word for that, it's opposite. Now that is horrible. Use opposite operations. So if I'm adding, I need to subtract. If I already have division, I need to multiply. If I'm already multiplying, I need to divide. Just use the inverse operations. Go through, do that step by step, and we're good. Okay? This is just the basic introduction to solving equations, because if I look at solving equations and I get a solution, if that solution makes the equation true, that allows me to always check the solution by plugging it in. All right, so once you go through and solve it, you should then check the solution. Since it always makes it true, it should get two equal statements on either side. All right, up next, we have some examples.